Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to learn all about charting in R and an overview of GGPLOT2, which is my preferred charting package. GGPLOT2 is based on something called the grammar of graphics. A graphic will just appear on your screen now to show you how this is actually structured. So at the base layer it starts with the data layer. Then you add aesthetics. So by aesthetics it means what appears on the X and Y coordinates of the chart. We'll go through a few examples of these later on. But essentially that just shows you how the data is then actually displayed. Then you add a layer of geometry, so what type of chart it is, whether it's a line chart, bar chart, etc. You can then use facets, which are charts within charts, to display multiple charts. You can use statistics within charts, which is a statistics layer, and then the coordinates layer for more effective and more advanced visualizations. We'll probably get up to the facets level, which is the purple level on the image that you can see. So essentially, GGPLOT2 is very flexible. It's based on the idea of grammar of graphics, and the idea that you can build every graph from the same set of components is also useful. We'll have a few examples of these now, but what we're going to do essentially is start with looking at the various charting options. So what we're going to do is have a look at the data sets that we can use. So data, and for this example I'm going to use the EU stock markets data. So as before, I'm going to set this to a data frame variable called data frame. Actually, just let's call it stock markets. Market df. Okay. And that should be as data frame. Okay. So now I've got a list of DAX, Shimmy, CAC and FTSE stock market prices. So what we're going to do now is use ggplot to visualize. You won't have ggplot installed on your in your RStudio environment previously. So what I need you to do is install the package. So it is ggplot2. As you can see, just let me look at the bottom. This has now been installed. Just wait for everything to finish installing. Yep, this has now been downloaded. So now what we do is to import the package through is use the library function. So use the set of objects in this project. I'm going to run that line. Just give me an error message that it's built under a different version. That's okay. So ggplot is my preferred package, but I'll give you an example of the native charting functions within R. Then an intermediary called qplots, and then ggplots. First of all, we'll do a basic histogram and show you what the output of that looks like. So if I wanted to have a look at what we're going to do, let's just have a look at the summary of that data. Stock market, to show which field we're going to use. So we use the DAX as something that we're going to use in the histogram. So the function hist, it's in the default R package under graphics. We're going to use the stock market data frame. We're going to index that and refer to the actual column name. So when I run this line, basically that says give me a histogram of my stock market data frame and use the DAX column. Hold on a second. Sorry. Okay, so now I've got the hist of the stock market DF. I had to enclose it in double index values, in double index brackets, to refer to the column by name. But as you can see, it produces a chart, a histogram, showing you what the distribution is, so how frequently these values occur in the various bins. As you can see, it's quite left distributed in that respect. hovers around the 2,000 to 2.5, something like that mark, 1,500 to 2,500 mark. It doesn't really look great, does it, using the native charting app functions. So we're going to improve on the visualization of that by using something called GGPLOT. So we're going to use the same parameters again this time. So we're going to use the stock market data frame, and we're going to pass in DAX. As you can see, the visualization automatically changes, and now we're getting something that looks a bit prettier, more aesthetically pleasing. There are a number of options for GGPLOT, but actually my preferred package is using GGPLOT, because you can extend the functionality of that massively. We'll do this in following examples. We'll have a specific example for each chart type, so histograms, bar charts, line charts, etc. But for now, this is just used as a comparison and an overview of what GGPLOT2 can do and the benefits of that. As you can see, GGPLOT is a nice intermediary between the histogram. So if we go to the previous plot, that looks relatively basic. GGPLOT is looking a lot nicer now. The trouble is with GGPLOT, it's a little more complicated to get your head around, but it's absolutely super powerful. So GGPLOT is the function. The data command that we need to pass in is our stock market data. And then what we need to do is generate an aesthetics layer. If we can remember from previously, I'll just show you that image again. It will just flash up now. The aesthetics layer is the next layer, which shows you how to display the data. So AES, open wrappers again. So closing parentheses there, but that's captured within the second line. So I'll start my data. So what I'm going to pass is the DAX value. So I'm going to use the dollar notation to refer to the column DAX, and I want to at the end, so that tells you how to set up the data, but it doesn't actually tell you how to set up the geometry, so what kind of geometry we want. So to add geometry, what I need to do at the end is put plus geom histogram. So what this essentially does is, that's your data layer there, that's your aesthetics layer, and that's your geometry layer. If I run this line now, I get something really similar to what I had in GGPLOT, but I assure you the extending the functionality is far greater than with GGPLOT. That's kind of a nice intermediary between the native charting applications and charting functions and types within R to the more advanced functions in GGPLOT2. GGPLOT does allow like customization of your charts, so you can set like alpha levels to affect transparency, color, to affect the color of each of the geometry, the aesthetics. You can use data, facets, X and Y variables. You can label them with the XLab and YLab functions. But I'll show you how to use GGPLOT to extend the functionality of these in the next tutorial, which will be specifically on histograms. That's just to give you an overview of the power of GGPLOT, but please tune into the next tutorial, which will go into it in more depth and add some more customizations to our charts. Okay guys, catch you next time. Thanks.